The Directorate General for Translation of the European Commission is the largest translation service and public employer of translators in Europe. It has long-standing relations with various stakeholders from the world of translation, such as universities, the language industry, and professional associations. In the context of the new Erasmus Plus program and with the full support of the Directorate General for Education and Culture, the Directorate General for Translation wants to bring together all the stakeholders under one common umbrella project, which is called Translating Europe. Translating Europe consists of a yearly conference taking place centrally and several other events, otherwise known as workshops, taking place throughout the year in all the member states. Translating Europe aims to give the opportunity to stakeholders to exchange good practices and develop common projects, give more visibility to the translation profession by creating a community of interest, and promote a diversified and sustainable environment for professional translators in Europe. DGT wishes to promote the language and translation professions as very good career opportunities for young people in Europe, and at the same time promote the employment potential for these professions. So subtitling is a very important activity within the translation industry, and we expect that there will be even more demand for it with the rise of social media and all these YouTube videos that we have right now. So we thought that this subtitling would be a very good opportunity to look at the translation profession, and this was the idea behind the workshop that we have together with the University of Nicosia.
The idea for this film translation project came up when I started looking for new ideas on how I could make my translation course more interesting, to bring it more close to professional applications, and in other words, to bring it more close to what students might be doing in real life in future. So it's a course which is offered by the Department of Languages and Literature. Instead of asking the students to submit just theoretical writing assignments, I asked them to translate a short film. So they were provided with a short film of the Directorate General for Translation, and they also received the transcript in 4 languages. Of course, they focused more on the English version of the transcript, but the other versions were useful as well. We had an Erasmus student in the group, and the Erasmus student was also given the chance to translate that short film into her own mother tongue, so we didn't want to compromise there. In the last stage of the project, I contacted the lecturer who teaches translation at her university, and I asked her whether she could kindly provide some feedback to the student. Every student submitted her own proposal for the Greek translation along with a commentary which linked the translation to theory. At the end, we had as many proposals as the number of students in class, and then we had roundtable discussions where every student had to support her own proposal relating this to theory. All in all, it was a very positive experience for my students. I noticed that they were more enthusiastic when they were coming to class, and I would strongly recommend such a project to other lecturers as well.
When one is brought up bilingual in both English and Greek, such as I, one should at least be advantaged in the process of translation. However, after being exposed to the translating theory, it is not as easy as it may appear. There are many traps one can fall into, leading into a forced, unnatural, even unintelligible at moments translation, those very similar to Google Translate. Therefore, grammar, syntax, even punctuation play a primary role. The translating process is not about finding the equivalent, the word-for-word equivalent. It is about understanding the differences in culture in both source and target language texts and being able to find the equivalents for these. Thus, pragmatics come into play. One needs to be able to recognize and be able to find the equivalent for humor, sarcasm, metaphorical language, even set expressions. Otherwise, the translation will be lost on its audience. It is quite amazing to realize that even in a fairly simple and straightforward sentence such as "the translating service of the EU is a place for you" had fairly, similar but very distinct translations from all of my classmates. This comes to show that the translating process is very subjective and very creative on part of the translator. It is up to the translator to realize if they want to change the expressiveness, to alter the formality, or even downplay the jargon, the technical language for the understanding of its audience.
This project has taught me to strive for accuracy and precision, while at the same time keeping my translation intelligible, eloquent, and grammatically correct in my target language. I learned to use new tools and search engines, while at the same time using traditional methods of looking up words. This project is very important because it can help with future work prospects and employability.